pass on.
Could be. Could be he's just a bad fucking dude.
Do any of the other ghosts have things on their garments? Like Nearly Headless Nick. He died because his head was nearly cut off his body. Is he covered? Unless it's some kind of penance that Bloody Baron has to wear.
Right.
The blood on him. Maybe it's poltergeist blood. And it's from him stabbing Peeves for being a dick.
Oh, there you go. I didn't think about that either.
No, me either. Ghost can murder another ghost?
He's a killing ghost.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I'm going to be the buzzkill on this one and say that I think it was just the description of the blood on him and that he's like a shimmery ghost.
Maybe I could be reading way too far into it. They pointed it out and it has had my attention. Every time the Baron comes up, I'm like, what is the silver stuff?
But they do get Peeves to go away.
Yeah. And they make it to the third corridor and the door is already open.
People would hear him barking.
Well, that and whoever left the door open is obviously not trying to cover their tracks anymore at this point. They think it's done. Otherwise, why wouldn't they be trying to keep the door closed? Let's not allude to anybody that I'm in here.
Don't let the dog out.
It's a big pooch for a little door.
I mean,
how did they get it in there? I'm going to go with there was some magic involved
McGonagall can turn anything she wants into anything she wants.
Did she transfigure it?
Fluffy.
Mini Fluffy.
Mini Fluffy.
We did talk about this, though, on when he got him, on what we speculated the dog came in like, if he had been there for a year or what.
Yeah, on how fast he grew.
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me now. Somebody's already gotten past Fluffy. There's a harp.
There's a fucking harp. So either he magicked one into existence, or he carried a big-ass harp in there. Either way, first choice of musical instrument is a fucking harp?
Well, it's soothing. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That's not a harp, but, you know, I tried.
Okay, so this is going to make me sound like an ass. But you really don't need to know how to play a harp to make a harp make nice sounds. You know, you kind of pluck all the strings lightly and it's just soothing. It's like a wind chime. Now, people who know how to play the harp, it's a very hard thing to play. I'm not saying it's easy to learn. I'm just saying it's easy to make it sound soothing.
I would pick a drum.
You would pick a drum.
Bang, bang, bang.
That's like the last instrument I would think this will calm him down. I'm going to take this bass drum to his ear.
Light little bongo, you know?
There is a little bit of logic to that. Actually, dogs find it extremely soothing to hear repetitive beats because it reminds them of their mother's heart while they're in the womb. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Much like some babies actually do too, they sleep better when they hear a gentle pulsing because it reminds them of the mother's heart. I thought that was interesting. So, yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
Also, harps are huge, and I probably couldn't put one on my body.
Because it's so big?
Yeah, they're huge. I would drop it or die.
Well, they take turns using a flute, the one that Hagrid gave him.
Yeah.
And they get past Fluffy. So they drop down under the trapdoor and into some kind of plant.
I did think it was funny how immediately Harry was like, sure, I'll jump into the Black Death. That's fine.
They had a classic tell my wife I love her scene just before he drops. Now, that's not what they're talking about, but he climbs into the hole and he like hangs there by his fingertips. And then he tells Ron, hey, if some bad shit happens, when I do this incredibly dumb thing, you gotta go tell somebody so you don't die in here. And then Ron's like, got it. And Harry lets go, but it was so dark they couldn't see. Even if he hit the ground, he wouldn't be able to see or know that anything happened to Harry. So what was really the plan? He'd been like, dude, you okay? Buddy? And just nothing.
Yeah. Could any of us hold on by our fingertips long enough to tell anybody anything?
No, probably not.
I think when you're scared enough, you'd be able to show a lot more strength than you normally do.
Because he had to lower himself down into that hole. And I feel like they took that way too lightly. Like, that's a big deal to, like, lower yourself down till you're just holding on by the fingertips.
I don't think any amount of adrenaline is going to give me the upper body strength that is required. Just saying. No. Not going to happen.
No.
I don't know, man. I'd be holding on pretty tight. I would not be able to do it. I guarantee you that. I would be just terrified.
So this plant thing that they fall into, it kind of starts to strangle them.
This is one of my absolute favorite scenes, like, ever. The interaction between Ron and Hermione here is just, like, gold. The way she's like, damn it, I don't know what to do. What does it say? And Harry's like, make a fire. And she's like, oh, but there's no wood. Ron's like, have you gone mad? Are you a witch or not? And then she's like, oh, right. And she makes the blue flames that we've seen a couple times. And then at the end, Harry mentions, lucky you pay attention to herbology, Hermione. And Ron's like, there's no wood, honestly.
You wonder if Mr. and Mrs. Weasley have had conversations like that, and arguments where Mr. Weasley's like, come on, really? Ugh. And the boys and Ginny have seen him do that for years.
They go down the hallway and into the room filled with what they think is birds.
And walk into a room that's not knee deep in bird shit.
Well, none of the other flying animals in the castle shit either. We've already discussed that we think Dumbledore just seals that shit up the second they come into a window, so they're not shitting on all the food. So maybe it's just kind of an afterthought now. Like, there's no shit.
No more shit.
I also did enjoy the fact that Harry finally, once they got down there, was like, oh shit, maybe there's a dragon down here. Because I feel like that should have occurred to him way sooner.
I would think if giant three-headed dog was in the picture, dragon is definitely a possibility.
I mean, I guess I get it. Hagrid wouldn't have wanted one so bad if there was one in the castle, now that I think about it a little deeper. But, like, I would have assumed.
That's a good point, though. He wouldn't have wanted a dragon so bad had he already had one to, be a mummy to.
Yeah, so I guess I negated my point right away. But
well,
it was a thought I had.
You worked it out.
Yeah,
we
worked
got
it out.
there.
We got there in the end.
So Harry realizes that these birds are actually keys. So they're looking around and they find broomsticks on the floor. And he starts to put two and two together. Locked door at the other side of the room. These things flying around are keys. And there's broomsticks on the ground. One of them is the key to the door. And how convenient that he's a seeker.
It's all coming together.
This room was built for his Quidditch skills to come into play.
Right. The first one, not really too personalized. Still something to get past. This was made for Harry.
Yeah.
So they have to chase it around a little bit, but it's not really that difficult for Harry to be like, yep, got it. Here you go, guys. It's the key.
So they find the key and they jam it into the lock. And they burst into the next room. And the lights come on and it's a giant fucking chess set, which is perfect for another one of our trio.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently. Ron knows his shit when it comes to some chess.
And it actually reaffirms that because it says Ron's wizard chess set knows Ron. So they're used to him and they're pretty good when it comes to playing chess. This wizard chess team, wizard chess pieces, they don't know Ron, but he still takes command of these fuckers and ultimately wins the game. And it doesn't seem like he has much difficulty.
Something that always kind of confused me. Like, there's no rules written down when they come in. And it never explicitly says that they, like, are stuck on their pieces. And one person got past it before. So, I never understood why Ron stayed on his chess piece instead of, like, hopping off real quick.
I think they replaced the chess pieces.
Yeah, in the book, they take the place of the chess piece. And so they're just standing on the square.
That makes more sense when they replace him. In my head, during the scene, I could see the scene from the movie.
Exactly.
But even then, if he's on the chess piece, just step the fuck off. Like I was saying a minute ago, somebody else got through with one person. The most logical thing to do would be to put himself or Harry in the position that you know that you're not going to lose unless you lose the game. Only one person, though. And then direct that motherfucker from behind the scenes and be like, okay, now this, now that, and you guys just chill.
Maybe they just assumed that they all had to do it because they all had to pass
Because
through.
they were all in the room and magic. Because magic.
Because magic.
Okay. All right.
Well, this rarely happens, but we've been going at this for a minute, and I think we're going to take another beer break and
Ooh.
refill our glasses.
I'd like that.
I think I would like that too.
I'm thirsty.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, well, we've all got a refill now, and I've actually switched over to Guinness Draft Stout. Little backstory, I recently found out that I am Irish, and so I wanted to try an Irish beer, and Guinness was one of the first ones I found, and it's also been my favorite so far. I also tried the Killian's Irish Red. I didn't like it as much as this. What about you, JD? What do you have?
I'm drinking Crewberry Red from Mad Farmer LLC, I think. Or Detroit Garage Project. It says both things.
Okay, so from Michigan, but the other side of the state.
Yeah.
What's a
and
crewberry?
Michigan malted oat, wheat, and barley, plus raspberry juice. It's very raspberry.
I'm a big fan of raspberry.
It's good. I like it.
It's good?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
I can appreciate a Bud Light every now and again. Some days, on a really hot day, it's just good. It doesn't taste bad to me. I just never really knew that there were other options. Now, typically, if you're at the places we were going to, those were your options. Bud Light, Miller Lite, maybe a PBR. That's about it. Now we have choices.
What are your guys' favorite beer? Any ideas or suggestions we should try?
My favorite is no secret. I said it on the show earlier. My favorite beer is PB&J Lee from Elk Brewing, hands down. Number one, best one ever.
I have a few that I enjoy a whole lot, some fruit beer. My absolute favorite is Funky Berry Much from Perrin, but unfortunately, as of right now, will not be able to catch me drinking it on the podcast because apparently they cannot put the Nitro Funky Berry Much in a can, even though I know it's a lie because Nate is drinking a Guinness right now that is Nitro, and it was in a can.
That's right. There's a little ball inside there that releases nitro into the beer and keeps it all creamy and fizzy good.
So, hey, Perrin, I'll pay you for beer if you make it.
Yeah, Perrin needs to talk to Guinness and figure that out because I want Funkberry in my fridge like yesterday.
Yeah.
What about you listeners? What's your guys' favorite drink? And do you have any suggestions we should try?
Yeah, let us know what you've been drinking while hanging out with us talking about Harry Potter.
Something we should try, and we'll be more than happy to let you guys know what we think of it, how much we like it, and if anybody else should try it.
Yeah, we tend to lean a little heavy local, so if you have something local to you, let us know. We'll try and get our hands on it. So, stick with us, and we're going to get into the rest of the story in just a second.
So, they get into the next room, and it smells awful. And it's just a troll that's already been knocked out. So whoever has gone before them took care of this thing, and there's not really much for them to do at all.
This is exactly what I was trying to say about how once they start going through these doors as of right now, it's just not detailed.
They've beaten Troll already. We don't need to watch them beat a troll again. I think that's part of it. You've already seen them do that. It'll get boring